for the past 3 years, I is involved in this conference from France. So talking head on the screen, but I wanted to be here in person. There's great work happening here in Italy, and I didn't want to miss it. And so when I discovered GIS in university, I realized this is for me. This is exactly what I want to do. I don't drink cappuccino in the afternoon, so
Okay.
I'm a proper. But
I made
do-
that mistake.
Benvenuti a Un Boss in Salotto, il podcast di GeoSmart Magazine, dove introduciamo e parliamo con personalità importanti del settore privato, del settore aziendale, delle università e non solo, per cercare di portarli sulle nostre poltrone e parlare della loro attività in una maniera un po' diversa. Oggi qui con noi abbiamo un ospite speciale dal mondo dei dati geografici, dal mondo del GIS. Abbiamo Ian Koeppel, Business Development Manager on Transportation of Esri from Europe, especially you came from France, and nice to meet you. And I'm very happy to talk with him, but I have also a special host, another podcaster that will help me today in this conversation. Ian Koeppel. He is a GIS technician with a background in biology, but you know him as a GIS content creator. Okay, let's start. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sylvia.
Let me introduce you, and especially, can you explain what is your specific role and what are your impressions from the Esri Italia Conference 2026?
Happy to answer, yes. My role is business development, working with distributors of Esri, business partners, and key customers in the transportation across all the different domains of transport: road, rails, public transport, airports, seaports. And I have been involved with Esri Italia for many years. For the past 3 years, I is involved in this conference from France. So talking head on the screen, but I wanted to be here in person. And this year I'm very happy that I did, because I was surprised how many people here I already know from the many years that I've been in this role. And so the excitement and the multi conversations happening simultaneously, it always recharges my batteries when I come to this community. And it's not my first time in Italy or Rome, but it's my first time at this conference.
I have another question. Is there a specific characteristic that you notice in Esri Italia conference that is different from the other conference?
That's a good question, because just last week I was at another annual conference in another country, which was also excellent. But what I see here is that there is a feeling of trust between the different participants. They may not know each other, but they know about each other. And there's also a very large international component. There are people here from many different countries who I also know. So it's really exciting to be communicating about what's new and what people are doing. There's great work happening here in Italy, and I didn't want to miss it.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've met a lot of the people already. Is that online, or have you also seen them in person? It's just been a long time since you see them.
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been around Esri for 28 years, so you bump into people, but there's so many new faces, people who I've heard of, haven't met, like you. It's a good mix.
It's a good mix. Well, that's also the nice thing I feel about social media, because you interact on a platform. I mean, that's also how I met these guys from GeoCampus. And it feels very natural afterwards to be spending time together. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn.
yeah,
I don't use the other modes, but this is a place where you can take the relationship another step further by having the face-to-face contact.
100%. It does make a very big difference to also see each other in person. But having LinkedIn as a base is very nice. So maybe as a little bit of a deeper question, since you've been in the game for quite a while and you've known a lot of people, when for you did you know that GIS could have like a bigger role in your life, or a big impact?
Yeah, Lai, thanks for this question. I was very young. I would say it wasn't in the 90s. wasn't in the 80s.
Right.
It wasn't in the 70s. It was
Wow.
in the 1960s that I realized that I want to know about places. I want to know, why are things where they are? Why are they the way they are? So as a young person, I was very inquisitive, and I was surprised that so many people didn't know why things were where they were. And I had a drive to learn this. And so when I discovered GIS in university, I realized this is for me. This is exactly what I want to
Right.
do.
It's happened something very similar to me, because my background is in geology, and I always loved any field of geology, but I've never found the right path for me, because I'm so curious naturally. But I found in GIS a technology where my curiosity can go in another level.
Yeah, no, 100%. And actually GIS is quite niche in the sense of not many people know of it, but a lot of people use it.
That's right. Yeah, when I tell people, they say, "What are you?" I say, I'm a geographer."
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh, you like rocks."
Oh,
No, that's another
They
science.
confuse.
That's the science about Earth. Geo means Earth, and geology is about the physical Earth, and geography is about all of the other components as well as geology.
yeah.
So that you have to answer the question correctly, because if you go into the details of GIS, you can see their eyes glaze over and they walk away. But if you relate it to what they do, you can make that connection. And GIS and geospatial technology connects everything.
Yeah, and we are trying to do this type of job. We are trying to bring GIS communication on another level. I thought that until now we have always talked about GIS with other professionals, with technicians, but now we have to spread GIS, and we have to spread GIS as a technology that is in our life of any person. What do you think about the type of communication that we are trying to create? For example, me and Lei, also as a GeoSmart.
Yeah, I think it's great that you do this. We need to be careful though, because when we say GIS, it doesn't mean things to people who don't know GIS. So then you say, well, geospatial, oh, maybe they know, but still. So you could say location intelligence. There are many, many ways to say what we do, but you have to do it in a way that's meaningful to that person. And so GIS is sometimes, I think, a block, because it's a TLA. It's a 3-letter acronym, right?
For a much bigger word. Yeah, 100%.
Do you have a last question?
A final question. Well, you're Esri Europe. Since you've been to so many different conferences, what is something that the conference here is doing different to the other places?
Well, besides the coffee and the food being
Yes,
superior
yes,
to
100%.
everywhere else, I find the Italian people to be very warm and open, and so you can have a conversation with anybody if you use your hands a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a very inviting community.
I think that this is the perfect conclusion for our podcast with this message about the warmth of Italian people and about also the specific characteristics of Esri Italian Conference. And thank you for your time.
I do have a final question though.
Yeah.
What's your coffee order?
My coffee
Yeah.
order? Well, it depends.
Right.
But I don't drink cappuccino in the afternoon, so
Okay.
I'm a proper. But
I made
do-
that mistake. So.
But I do like oat milk with my coffee.
Yes.
So
I always use oat milk.
Cappuccino in the afternoon is not an Italian thing.
no, it's not to be done.
Esatto. Questo è un vostro in salotto, il GeoSmart Vodcast. È stato un piacere avere con noi qui Ian Koeppel e ci vediamo al prossimo podcast, alla prossima puntata, perché anche lì avremo un ospite speciale, un vero boss in salotto.